Georgia about to kick it off to get us underway. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. Using his legs, it's Pringle. At the 35, he's open. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38. The Gator ground game is lurking in the murky waters, and it has been most effective.
Yeah, and we've seen them in the past, man. When Florida's really, really cooking, they've got some good backs. They've got some good balance, but they've got some physicality, and that's what you want to see from this unit.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Leaves it with the running back.
And you want to run the football. That's okay. You'll take some of these. But if they start to add up down the road, obviously, you might want to think about airing it out a little
bit. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Trying the left side. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front?
You want to end the play quickly, get in the backfield that fast, get to the guy, and get him on the ground. Nice job penetrating right from the snap, getting off the ball so quick, penetrating the backfield, and making something happen.
It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Punch it out of the air. They'll get it to the 48. No need to measure. It's a first down.
Well, you love to see this on the first drive of the game, right? 3rd down, go back to the old faithful, the slant pass, something you put in on day 1 install back in spring practice. Executed perfectly, keep this drive alive.
Making sure they have good balance, keeping it on the ground. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. David, as a Georgia legend, when I say Florida, what comes to mind?
Ugh. I mean, that's the easiest question you've asked me yet. I mean, there's nothing that I ever liked or enjoyed about the Florida Gators, just playing in that rivalry. You know, it's not a neutral site, by the way. It's in Jacksonville, Florida. Like, that's not neutral. It's way closer to Florida. It's way closer to Florida fans. But this rivalry, I'm telling you, every single year, that was #1 team you wanted to beat.
And the Gators have it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
This opening drive has been all offense. Really good job, nice scripted plays, taking advantage, strung together a nice series. But here's all that matters for defense. We don't even care about yards anymore. Can I keep him out of the end zone? Great job right here. Step up, get a stop, force him either to kick a field goal or get no points, and this drive is still a success.
The Gators pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. They're going to go right back to him on first down. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Man, you gotta love the offense coming out with a plan. They're going to feed their running back. Great job featuring him. Great job setting the physical tone. And they punched this defense right in the mouth and already got them back on their heels.
The snap sets up the throw. Wide out, trying to get it in. Touchdown, Gator! The finisher, the exclamation point on that drive.
Well, they wanted to turn the page after losing their last game, so how about you come out in this one? On the opening drive, you march the field 75 yards and put 6 on the board. You can't start a game better than that.
And the PAT makes it 7-0. close the deal with the 7-yarder for the score. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. To the air, it's Newton. Working that left side now. Across the 40 out of bounds at the 41, and a big pickup has this offense on the move.
Not wasting any time. You just watch the opponent go down on their first drive and score a touchdown. So right away, you're aggressive. You're throwing the football on your first play of the game, and you're getting a nice completion. Really nice job.
Wants to go up top on first down. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down. These two first met back in 1915, and for much of their histories, they've been sleeping giants. But man, when they wake up, do they wake up?
Well, two programs, obviously, with a lot of history and a lot of great players in the past, but I feel like because of the recent success of both Georgia and Florida in the last couple of decades, this is a game every year that everybody, not just in the SEC, but I think around the country, have circled because of what this game means.
Well, and it's so cool when you're a fan and you've played in this game like me and Jesse both have. You can go back to a singular moment like Run, Lindsey, Run in 1980, which was a 3rd and long on their own 7 that they converted Georgia to go on to win a national title. Big games decided by big moments that live forever.
Back to pass on second down. Got a man. It's Taylor. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
They're going to run it. Knocked down at the 27 after a pickup of 5. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They'll try to pop the draw. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And nice job by the defense. A draw is kind of a trick, get you to run upfield, but they sniffed it out, did a great job. Stopped the play for no gain.
To the air, it's Newton. Catch in the middle, it's White. The chains will move, and they'll have 1st and 10 from inside the red zone at the 18. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these 3rd down situations.
Well, they were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game, but that did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
And back to the air on 2nd down. Quick strike complete. He's there to make the stop, but not before he sets up this offense. 1st and goal from the 7. And the Dogs started this drive backed up in their own end, and now they've moved into position to score. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down. 2nd down coming.
A lot of times when you go back and you revisit these games, who takes advantage of these opportunities in the red zone, in these goal-to-go situations? Bad job on first down by this offense.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now he's going for the goal line. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Bulldogs!
What a luxury for an offense to have. The ability to set the tone on the ground, giving that guy the football time after time, making offense easy, being physical, and really setting the tone for this football team.
And he did get that extra point through the slippery surface, no problem. After that latest answer tied things up, just about set to kick it away again. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. This drive will start from the 19-yard line. Looking downfield on first down. Gets it out fast. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain.
Ooh, and that was close for the offense. They try to go wide receiver screen. They're counting on that receiver beating that defender. Wasn't able to make him miss that time, but if I'm on offense, I'm going back to that play later.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. From the gun, running back on the move. And they make the stop, and that will likely bring us to the end of the first quarter. Entertaining first quarter, and we are all locked up after one as we take a quick look at some stats. They fought to a standstill in the first. Let's see who gets the edge early in the second. So they had a chance to talk over this third down play to open the period. Picked off. What a play to set him up. Got him down quickly after the pick, but man, do you have to take care of the ball down here, and they didn't. They'll mark it at the 27. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. How big is this drive? Scored a touchdown the last time they had it. Defense gets a stop, and now it's up to them in a tie game.
All right, so if you're the offensive coordinator here, let's dial it in. Who are your best matchups and best playmakers to take advantage of this golden opportunity?
Yeah, and I'm interested to see this defense, too. Like, the momentum is clearly not in your favor. How do you get it back? How do you make a big play? Do you be more aggressive here to try to get the football back to your offense?
Only a couple there, and now staring at 3rd and 8.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Caught, close to the marker, hits White. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down. 3rd down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
Stopped at the 13-yard line as they try to turn this into points. Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. From the gun, running back gets to give. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Well, we know this defense is one that plays with a lot of pride, right? And part of that is their ability stopping the run. They're a top 25 unit in the nation when it comes to stopping the rush, and that really helps them out down here in the red zone. They're going to have to step up big time in this situation.
Rush is on him, and they fail to hook up on 3rd down.
Well, this is a disappointing drive for the offense, considering where this drive started in their opponent territory. Now you're 4th and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of situations.
Splits the uprights, it's good. And with that field goal, they now have the lead. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, a couple of Mountain West teams colliding in a game that could have some implications. Fresno State has the lead right now, but this Bulldog Stadium crowd is restless. They just haven't been able to separate themselves yet today. They're up by a field goal over UNLV. We've got our finger on the pulse of everything in the Mountain West and all around college football. Guys?
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. They'll open this drive, hoping to move it down the field. A touchdown would give them the lead. Flips it out to the back. And he didn't have a whole lot of operating room after the juke, and he stopped for a short gain.
And that's kind of a lot of today's running game, right? Spit the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers in space, get positive yards. It's instead of running the ball a couple yards up the middle, now you just spit it out wide, and a lot of times if you break a few tackles, it could be even bigger.
Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Looking to fire. Got the big tight end on the corner route. Gets it up to the 35-yard line before going out of bounds. You know, David, this is really what game managing is. Nice pickup on 2nd down to help them on the next play.
Yeah, I think people look at that negative sometimes, finding a quarterback that's a game manager. No, use your brain. Set up good situations. I'm way more successful when I can keep those sticks in a more manageable situation, and I'm not as predictable on a 3rd down.
The Gators come to the line needing just inches for the first down. They're going to go to the air on 3rd and short. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
Defense did a great job. 3rd and short on the opponent's side of the field. They're expecting quick throw. Everybody, they dug their heel in the ground. They're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
They're in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, and this is why you have a prominent jawline and an urgent resolve. They'll go for it. How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on... down.
That's a great job there by the defense here early in this game, getting a huge stop, and they've got an opportunity to make the opponent pay. Offense taking over now in great field position. Let's see what they can do here from a play-calling standpoint to try to put some points on the board.
He spun that wheel of fortune by challenging the call, and it does not go his way, and he loses the timeout. Wants to throw. It's Newton. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain.
I know everyone's yelling like, you didn't get the first down, we need more yards. But if you think about it, nice short completion, sets up a 3rd down. And guess what? Nowadays, 4th down, green light. We're going to go for it anyways.
Motion from the back. Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. Grabbed over the middle. It's Williams. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening. 1st and goal from the 9.
And that is a huge conversion on 3rd and long for the offense. I think a lot of people thinking, hey, we're just going to try to get a couple yards, help our kicker out here to kick a field goal. But instead, they get a massive play, and now all of a sudden they're thinking touchdown here, 1st and goal.
And when you play defensive end, it's all about getting off the football. You can tell, gets off the football really fast, gets in the backfield, gets the running back before he knows what hit him. What a play by the defensive end.
To the air on 2nd down. And it's incomplete, but there's a flag in the backfield. Let's see who the call's on. That offensive line grabbing and holding on, and they'll back up and try it again. Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Back to pass. And he can't connect on the throw. It's incomplete.
You've got great field position here. You got to pay it off. Who is your go-to receiver that can make a
looking to throw. It's Newton. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up.
Tell you what, I don't know if the offense was expecting man coverage that time. Third and long in field goal range, you're expecting it to be zone. Instead, they lock them up man-to-man, everybody on an island, and everybody won. They get the incompletion, now setting up fourth.
It is true as he puts 3 on the board. The lead now 6 here in the second. So they're lining up to kick it off after that last drive. Put a 3 spot on the board, and now the defense will try to shut them down. On the move from inside his 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. The Gators sending the offense back to work. Both of these defenses a little bend, but not breaking in clutch situations, David.
It's always exciting when you can go for it on fourth down and you know your defense will make a stand. They held him to a field goal, Jesse. It's a pretty good job by that defense.
It is. So if I'm this coaching staff, don't deviate from the game plan here. Go back to doing what you want to do and get established in this game.
And now on second down for this offense. Wants to go up top. And that pass will be jarred loose on second down. That brings up third down.
Big tight end tries to make a catch, and you could tell he extends for the ball, but great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going to catch it, and the big tight end couldn't hold on to it.
On third and long, trying to have a big completion here.
And the defense catches a break on that one. And this guy's not a superstar, but he's pretty dang reliable. And we talked to them about this guy. Like, he's kind of the security blanket for the quarterback. And him to drop that football doesn't happen often. You take those lucky things when you can get them.
And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. From the gun, to give, looking for room. Found a little space, and he's got 4 to the 35.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they'll talk it over to see if they can build on this lead before halftime. Now they'll line it up from the 44 on 1st and 10. Back to throw, it's Newton. A little screen to the running back. And that one looked great on the grease board, but when they blow it up like that, the defense is going to win every time.
Well, they're trying to set up the screen pass to the running back, just nowhere to go after he caught the football. The defense completely swarmed around him, and that's a loss.
Backed up now, here's second and long. Looking to fire. With the catch, it's Simmons. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
Third and short now from their own 48. From the gun, wants to pass. Got it in the middle, it's White. Lots of green grass as he gets into the 31.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that third down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Wants to throw on first down. And it's incomplete, deflected, knocked away by the D.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open. And that's why that one fell incomplete.
High in the chains now on 2nd and long. Couldn't connect on 1st down, now back to the air. Incomplete, and man, is he lucky to get that one back. Defense that close to an interception. It's pretty clear he didn't care about the double coverage. He thought his guy was better than their 2 guys.
Well, and there's reason to think that. That dude's a stud, and I understand it. I want to find ways to get him the football, but when it's 2-on-1, I might think about looking somewhere else.
Inside the 20-yard line, pushed out at the 18, and they're in business.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player, and we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is, and you saw it right there on that play.
Snagged in the middle, H. Barber. Gets it inside the 5, down to the 4, and it'll be 1st and goal.
How many 1st downs is that alone, just on this drive? The defense, they keep this up, they're going to get worn out and continue to have to play more and more guys. They got to do something to change this.
A 1st down run on the doorstep. And he'll get this one back to the line of scrimmage, but no farther than that. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play. Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? To the air, it's Newton. Going to try to pop one on the screen. And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there. The offense burns its 3rd and final timeout of the half. It's 3rd and goal and 3rd and long. Secondary walks up on the line, showing press coverage. On 3rd and goal, they'll throw it. Looking for the score. Throw to the end zone, picked off. And they make the play and make sure there's not any scoring opportunity right here before the end of the half.
And he can fill up the hand now with that pick, man. That's number 5 on the season, consistently making plays for his defense. Always a guy where we're going to be calling his name over and over again.
First order of business, get out of this hole as the drive starts at their own 7-yard line. To the air on 1st down. He's going to throw deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. They tried to hit him with a big one on 1st down.
And it's funny, right before that play, I'm thinking to myself, I wonder if this offense is just going to play conservative here with the field position, the fact they haven't scored a ton of points so far in this game, just run the ball and take it into halftime. No, they're being aggressive, and not just that. They're taking deep shots way down the field, but give the defense credit. They were ready for it, forcing that incompletion.
We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Looking to throw on 1st down. He's going to let one fly down the middle. It is incomplete, and now there are 4 seconds remaining.
As a quarterback, this is going to be a very tough game. You're going up against one of the top 20 units in the entire country. They know who your primary target is. They're going to be keying on him just like they did that last time, forcing the incompletion.
One more snap coming before halftime. He wants to change this route. They'll go back to the air on 2nd down. He's got it for a big play. They finally get him stopped. Man, oh man, did he almost make a play to end this half, but stopped on a touchdown-saving tackle. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. And the Gators will boot it away to start the second half. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. They got plenty done through the air in the first half, and we'll see if they even need to look for balance as we start the third quarter.
Well, and I think defensively, you understand, like the running game isn't a big part of the plan. I wonder how they adjust and play more coverage to this pass-happy offense.
Yeah, so you're going to have to be ready if you're a quarterback then. You're probably going to see some different coverages. You might see a little bit more blitz in the second half as well, so you have to know where your answers are.
They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
Well, when you're running the drag route against man coverage like that, as a quarterback, you got to put the ball out in front of your target. And when you do that, you give the guy a chance to then advance the football up the field, pick up a first down like they did right there.
Sends it back in motion. Looking for a man. It's Newton. Throws for the tight end. And it was worth going for a chunk play, but the long pass is incomplete.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit and when they get hurried and when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job by the defense, pressuring the quarterback.
Give to the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
You got to give the defense credit. They knew a big key in this one was slowing this dude down, especially after how well he played the last time out. They have been swarming him. They have been gang tackling him and getting a lot of penetration out front.
They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Can't make the connection on third down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's fourth down. Georgia sends out the punt team. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. Puts a boot to it. Didn't see a lot of him in that loss last week, only called on twice. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. The delay of game pushes the offense back. Here's the snap, ready to cut one loose. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up.
Well, obviously it's raining here in this game, and the ball's slippery. I don't know if that slipped out of the QB's hands a little bit, but it certainly wasn't an accurate throw, and as a result, it ends up in an interception.
This offense has it with really good field position. Leaves it with the back.
And it's been a struggle for the run game for this offense. I mean, this is something they hang their hat on. You saw last week, you saw the highlights, and just give it to the running back. Let him do his thing. Haven't been able to get him going. I don't know what's going on, but they got to find a way to get their talented back some space so he can make some plays.
Intercepted, and now he's up to 14. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
Gets the back moving. Trying to start the drive with a pass. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
This is a situation here in the third quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because of the points right now on the scoreboard.
Right through his hands and incomplete, and he'll want that one back. It'll be third down.
Man, that's one you expect him to make in his sleep, right? He's one of the better receivers in the entire country. He just dropped that one over the middle of the field.
Now facing a third and long. They'll move the wide receiver. On third down, he drops to throw. Unloads to the right. And the pass is incomplete here on third down, but there is a flag. Let's check it out. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Free yards. First down for the offense after that penalty. Looking to throw on first down. Stands in and takes the hit. And it's knocked away downfield. The DB getting a hand in there.
Well, the best thing that's happened so far in this game for this offense has been looking this guy's way and giving him a shot. He has their only touchdown in this game, so they're trying to take another shot down the field. Good job in coverage defensively. You've got to be aware of where this guy is because right now he's been their biggest playmaker.
Wants to throw it. Makes the grab. Really good pickup on second down there. Leaves them with third and 2.
Man, these in-breaking routes are so hard for these slot guys because you're so worried about them flying up the field vertically. Nice job sitting down, breaking in, finding a little hole, making a catch.
The Gators come to the line on third and short, looking to keep the drive moving. They'll throw on third and short. Fires to the tight end. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47. Third and short, and I guess the only thing they really took out of play in the shotgun was the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I like to do, Reese. I mean, third and inches, I want to run the quarterback sneak, run the football, but this team fully comfortable throwing the football, and you see why. Easy pitch, easy catch, first down.
You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, second and 6.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
After the productive first down play, it's second and 6. Makes the grab on the left. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down.
And he's been the go-to guy all year long. Like, he's in the top 5 in all of college football in receiving yards for a reason. They're going to find him because he's always open, making plays. This dude has been unbelievable. He's being mentioned in the Heisman conversation. That is really hard to do as a wide receiver, so that shows you what kind of special year this young man's having.
Flips it out on the screen. He makes the stop, but a nice pickup there on first down. Leaves him in second and manageable.
I'll tell you what, if you want to be overzealous, you want to be a blitzer all the time, I like running the screen right behind him. Did a great job throwing the screen. Almost broke this one for a long game, but it just keeps the defense a little bit more honest if you want to start bringing a lot of pressure.
Second down, he'll throw it. Caught near the sticks. It's Davidson. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. Always nice to have that security blanket of the tight end.
And it's nice to have a tight end that can line up in different areas of the field, too. It's not always going to be in a three-point stance. He can sometimes be in the backfield. You could flex him out into the slot. They might even try to put this guy out at wide receiver in the split end position and see what he can do there, because this guy is a weapon.
He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive.
Draws are such a smart way to take advantage of fast defensive linemen that want to get upfield and get after the quarterback. It keeps them honest. It makes them realize they got to play the run, too. Great play call.
Wants to fire on second down. Makes the catch along the sidelines and steps out of bounds.
I tell you, this slot receiver, he really does give his quarterback a nice option. Runs really good routes. He's got nice hands. You saw it on that last play.
The Gators trying to cash it in on 1st and goal. Looking to throw. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on 1st down.
Timing has got to be so critical when you're trying to throw the ball down close like that. They didn't have great timing on that one.
Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? Back to pass. Looking to get it in. He's all the way down to the 2-yard line. Just spectacular execution there.
Nice job by the defense forcing the 3rd and goal. You can't allow any run after catch in these situations. Play aggressive, play tight, and play physical.
Finding it tough to make positive yardage now. 3rd and goal from the 2. Barrels ahead. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Florida.
3rd and goal, you're going to turn around and just give it to this guy who just has a nose for the end zone. He's able to find the crease and pay it off for his offense.
Setting up for the extra point that would put them on top. And the extra point gives them the lead at 14-13. That is what they mean when they say ball control, a 14-play touchdown drive. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll come out to the 25, no attempt at a return. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Give to the running back. Runs ahead and powers his way for 4 yards out to the 30. Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. Keeping it on the ground with the single back. Pretty good job of running to get 2 there to the 32.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
3rd and short like that on your own side of the field, you're just looking for a quick hitter. You're trying to get the ball out of your hand quickly, but the timing completely off there for the offense, and the ball falls incomplete.
Georgia lining up to punt it away. He's got it. He's got great speed. He did a great job finding some running room on that return and was able to set up the offense with good field position. They'll start this drive at their own 48. Here's the handoff. Hard running there. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up. We've come to the end of the quarter, and it's Florida on top. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. 1 quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic 4th quarter finish. a chance to mull things over, and let's see how they start the final period here on second down. From the gun, the ground game. At the 35, he's got room. Gets him down at the 30 after a 15-yard pickup. They are threatening, and they have a first down.
When the offense can run the football and you can feature a guy like this that will get more yards than his block, that you can really depend on, hangs on to the football, like it makes offense super easy, especially down the stretch when you want to eat that clock and you want to possess the football. Just nice to have that kind of game.
What a good job to be able to pick up that kind of yardage when you're trying to finish off the game.
Well, the defense didn't blitz. They didn't have everybody in gaps, and the offensive line took advantage at the point of attack, getting some push, opening up a hole, and the offense ripping off a nice run there.
And the Gators will line it up on 1st and 10. From the red zone, looking for a man. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. They'll finally put the brakes on him at the 3. A big throw, catch and run on that one. That is a time-honored way to slow down the rush. Hit him with the screen and a chunk play.
Yeah, such a great job because you're flying up the field to get to the quarterback because everything looks like pass down the field. Let those guys get up the field, throw it right behind him. He does a little bit of the rest, making some moves, getting upfield, making the big play.
So this offense with an opportunity to put this game in a hammerlock if they can score and bleed the clock. He's looking to throw. He's going for the goal line. Touchdown, Gators! And they take it in for 6 more points.
Man, find your weapons. Nice job by the quarterback. Find the running back out of the backfield. He catches it and does the rest. Walks into the end zone for the touchdown.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, it's 21-13. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, your game is a big one, but so is this battle right now inside the Mountain West. Wyoming needs to pick up the pace, but this puppy is far from over. And with that crowd there in Laramie behind them, I'm kind of banking on a comeback. It's a close one right now. They're trailing by 1 to Colorado State. The moment something changes in this Mountain West fight, you will hear about it here. Back to you guys.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Looking for a man. It's Newton. Unloads to the wideout. Grabbed in the middle. It's White. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go. Just when they thought they had the big play, the penalty wipes it out. He's looking to pass. Fires left. He's got it. Turning it on. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. There are penalties you sort of forget about and others that sort of stick with you for a while. You get a play like that wiped out, that one's going to linger. They'll get set for the free kick after the safety.
Set to advance on the football.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete.
I love the quick decision the QB made there on that RPO, knowing he wanted to get it out of his hands fast. He just needs to make a more accurate throw move.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Catch in the middle, it's Jackson. Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34.
You see a lot of offenses late in the football game with a lead get conservative. I like they did. Like, they trusted the passing game. You're going to get looks that you know what they are. Defense has to be aggressive. You know, they have to be aggressive because they're down. They've got to get to the quarterback. They've got to get stops. Nice job throwing the football.
Makes a man miss. They get him stopped after a pickup of 5 to the 28.
And he's done everything for this offense today, running the football, so much so that he's now got 98 yards rushing. We're in the fourth quarter. One more carry, and this guy could eclipse the 100-yard mark.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Touch pass on the jet sweep. There he goes. Got enough space. Into the hallelujah land. Touchdown, Florida. Boy, do they need that score. Gave them a little cushion as they try to put a stop to this two-game slide. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. Last drive was a quick 3 and out, and now time is even more of a factor to get something going. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
One of the biggest reasons today why this offense is losing in the game is they haven't been able to get it going throwing the football. This guy still has not thrown a touchdown pass. They thought coming into this game they were going to have tons of success throwing it, but you got to give the defense credit. They watched the film. They've been mixing up their looks defensively, trying to confuse this quarterback, and again, on that last deep shot, it falls incomplete.
And I absolutely love what this defense is doing, man. You know exactly what time it is. You've got a big lead. They're going to have to throw the football. So more nickels, more dimes, bring the speed on the field, and get ready to play the pass.
And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line. Down in the fourth quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Hit as he throws, and the ball goes right to the ground, incomplete.
Well, at this point of the game, in the second half, down 3 possessions, you're not punting anymore, right? Every 4th down you're going to be going for, regardless of where you are on the field. The problem is, defense knows it too, so they're going to play call accordingly. That time, they had a better play call on. They execute. It's just been that kind of day for this offense.
On the ground, it's Pringle. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Right back to him on the ground. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Let's see if this offense can answer the bell. Their coaches challenged them all week long. When they got down to the red zone, we've got to be able to run the football because we're going up against a top 10 rushing defense. Let's see if they can step up here and get it done.
And guys, they really need to make something happen on this 3rd and long. They want to throw it. That pass is well off target. He got hit as
just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, fourth quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest of this way, and we looking pretty good.
That lead just keeps getting fatter, and this kickoff team doing a little running. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. We'll see if that failed fourth down in their own end last time, David, sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
Well, you hear about it all the time in football. Go for it. Be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And, Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You can see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
Caught over the middle. It's Williams. And works it to the 40-yard line. That'll be a first down.
Nice route there by the tight end, making it real easy for his quarterback to find an easy completion.
Now from the 40, it's 1st and 10. Back to pass, it's Newton. Fires one high and deep. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
And it's going to be hard for this offense, man. They've struggled to pass the football down the field, to make these explosive plays, and now, huge deficit. Got to make them. Got to find a way to push the ball down the field to create some explosive plays if you want a chance to get back in this.
Looking deep down the right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on 2nd down. The 3rd down's coming up.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming. No sign of the punt team as they will go for it and try to move those chains. On 4th down, they'll pass for it. He's going for it all. And it's incomplete way downfield, and the defense rises to the occasion.
And listen, obviously, at this area of the field, it's a question, it's a debate whether or not you go for that on 4th down. At the end of the day, though, I think this coach believes in his own playmakers, and he's got guys on offense that he feels can make a play in that type of situation, and he's got confidence in him. That time they weren't able to come up with it. Be curious to see what this guy does if they're in a similar situation as this game moves on.
Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. The handoff, keep working on that clock. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, the running back has it. Fakes it past the marker. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a 1st down.
And this offense does it again on 3rd down. They have been so elite on 3rd down all game long. That's the money down. All the coaches talk about it every single time we meet with them. They've been brilliant at it. They've built the lead, and they've got a good chance to finish this one out if they keep that up.
The Gators come to the line with a new set of downs. Wide receiver comes in motion. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. Oh, better look out! And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And great recognition by the corner. That touch pass after he throws to the quarterback, it's a pass. He can't throw it forward again. Nice job understanding that, flying up, coming and making the big tackle in the open field.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? They'll leave it with him. Pick up a 5. It'll be 3rd down and 5. The Gators have moved it inside the 20. Wide receiver going in motion. The play action fake. Got it behind the line. It's Davidson. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a 1st down. They were really hopeful he could make a guy or two miss and pick up the 1st down, but he comes up a little short.
Yeah, and it's great defense. It's defense understanding where the sticks are, not missing tackles, getting the guy on the ground quickly. Really nice job by the defense in understanding the situation.
He didn't make it. They'll have to give up the football, and hope is still alive.
This is so a Jesse Palmer move. Exactly what he would do. Continue to put the foot on the accelerator, try to rub it in. Can't win by enough. Got to look good in the polls. This is your kind of offense, Palmer.
Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback in this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
And it was worth the gamble, but the long pass is incomplete.
And this is a tough spot for the QB, man. Like, he knows he's down big and has to make big plays down the field, but also got to be smart, because this defense, you can tell, bringing in extra bodies, playing the pass, maybe take the dink and dunk, let your guys make some plays, because they are definitely playing the deep ball.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Throws to the wideout. Working that left side. Here he goes. He's at the 20. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Dogs!
And a nice touchdown. Continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense. Continue to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
Now a 2-point conversion attempt coming up. Looking to throw, it's Newton. Makes the grab for the 2-point conversion as they cut further into that lead.
I like it. Nice execution. Catch the football. Get it out of your hand. Nice rhythm, nice timing for that 2-point conversion.
Time is against them. Still down by 2 scores, but they'll line up for the onside kick. He's able to grab the football, and the hands team gets the job done. They were trying to steal a possession to draw a little closer in this game, but the ball didn't go 10 yards, so they'll take over the football with the lead. Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. Give to the single back. He's knocked down a couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Goodness gracious, if you blinked, you missed it. Horrible blocking up front. Defender gets in there so fast.
Did he line up in the backfield? Even with this lead, they'll throw again. Throws toward the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You to Sunshine State, a toast to the Florida Gators who take down Georgia in this rivalry game. That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.